The Salvation Army has been under fire for months now since one of its media relations directors made claims of anti-homosexuality as a belief of the organization. Since the anti-homosexual statements by Major Andrew Crabe of the Army's Australian Division, the Salvation Army has denied any connection to anti-homosexual belief.
If you are a homosexual, and for us we would say to be a full member of the Salvation Army, you ought not to be practicing in your homosexuality. That's a choice we ask for you to make by way of full membership.
The Salvation Army thrift store on Westchester Avenue in Portchester is a popular site for purchase students seeking cheap clothing, especially cheap Halloween costumes, but the anti-homosexual reputation of the Salvation Army has caused students to hesitate. You coming to this store?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, that makes me that's weird and kind of makes me a little bit uncomfortable, but I don't know if it would stop me coming from the store. Mostly because I can afford things here. I can't afford things in a lot of other stores, so I'd have to think about it.
Do these statements affect your shopping at the Salvation Army here in Portchester?
I guess not really. I mean, I don't normally shop at their shops. Just kind of came through to look at some stuff for like props. But I mean, statement makes me uncomfortable. But I don't think I would stop shopping here, I guess.
Why is that?
I mean, I guess it's not the individual belief of the owner of the shop, I guess just of Salvation Army in general, like whoever is the head of it, but I don't know. I don't agree with the statement, obviously.
I would like to get your thoughts on the recent developments of the Salvation Army situation.
My big thing is it was, first of all, we're talking about it's the head of the Australian branch of the Salvation Army, outwardly saying that he believes that gays should be put to death, they should be are less, second-class citizens and everything. And let's face it, people, with their fanatical beliefs say a lot of stupid things that does not account for every single person in a company. A company is not a sentient being. It does not have feelings or opinions. People in the company have opinions. If you're saying you want to boycott the Australian, if this guy owns his own Salvation Army store, if you want to boycott that particular store, that's one thing. But the club as a whole, I mean the organization as a whole, does do a lot of good. Like that money that you spend at Salvation Army isn't just going to feed this, the pocket of this Australian guy who happens to hate the gays. It's going to a lot. It's going to homeless shelters. It's going to community outreach. It's going to helping, it's going to genuinely helping people. So if just this one guy is saying it, I really don't think it outweighs the bad here. It doesn't to the extent of what the Salvation Army does good, it doesn't outweigh the bad to me.
In light of these recent developments, will you continue to shop at the Portchester location, the thrift store? I know many students shop there, and you are one of them. But
yeah, I've been to the Portchester one a couple of times. It's it does help the community. That's a big thing to remember. It helps directly help the community while saving myself money. If just because one guy in Australia said some remarks, I don't believe that makes the company as a whole bad. So I would continue to shop there because it does support not only the local economy, but it helps the local community, helps people who are impoverished and in need. So I think it's kind of a win-win. This one instance isn't, well, I mean, there have been multiple instances, but this particular instance is not the deal breaker for me.
So what are your thoughts on the recent reputation of the Salvation Army?
It's not something that we haven't seen before, especially lately with companies and their heads showing homophobic or racist or very conservative, aggressive views. So it wasn't exactly surprising, but it was very disappointing that it was a very Christian, helpful organization, and they came out, or at least one person behind them came out as very backwards in his beliefs.
All right, and second question, do the recent developments, would they affect your shopping at the Portchester location, at the Portchester thrift store, because we know that you have gone there many times?
I plead that I don't have many other thrift stores to go to. If there were others, then I probably would change my shopping habits. But as it is, since it was only one person who stated such a thing, and a lot of the American branches are denying that any affiliation to that belief, then I'm going to continue shopping there. So, no, it's not really going to affect my shopping habits.
What are your thoughts on the recent developments of the Salvation Army's reputation?
Well, I think if the statements against homophobia are true, or statements against homosexuality are true, then it's ridiculous because that's stupid.
And do these developments discourage you from shopping at their Portchester location in the future, their thrift store?
I guess if they were true, then yeah, it would stop me from shopping.
All right.
What are your thoughts?
I find it pretty much disgusting that such an accusation could even be true or even false. The person trying to even make such a statement against Salvation Army, you don't have really the right to say that unless you have enough info backing it up.
All right. And second question, does this affect your willingness to shop there at their Portchester location in the future?
Not particularly, because the workers there don't exactly support the ideals of the whole company. CEOs can have their own opinions, whether it's true or not even. They're a different person than whoever's working and just is trying to make money.
All right. Would you ever seek any alternatives if the opportunity arose?
For a different store,
Yes.
if it was available, then I would give it a try.
Thank you. Employees of the Portchester Salvation Army denied comment, but referred this reporter to Captain Michael Lee, the district overseer, who also denied comment on the store's practices. More to come as we follow the story.